Hey Mimi, how's it going? Busy day. I was in the garage working all morning. So I figured cool off a bit, work on these. I decided to open up the booty area on them. So while I was in the garage this morning, I kind of took down the areas a bit. And I figure I'd rework her chest. So, no I didn't. Last night after I logged off, I took a shower and laid on the couch. I'll look right now real quick. It's a Stellar Blade. See if I can find a picture. Oh, there's a Stellar Blade statue. Let's see. Oh, I see what they are. Kind of cool. Yeah, I'm not doing that, but I see what you're saying though. Oh, she doesn't have heels. Ah. Yeah. It's kind of a cool design, but it's kind of weird not having heels on her, though. I'll have to look closer. I only saw a picture of her full size, but I'll have to like find a video on YouTube and check it out. The idea for Peach is I was gonna give her shake kickers, which is kind of like the, you know, heavier heels, thicker heels on her. I'll have to watch some gameplay too of her to see how she walks in those. So I took down the crotch area because it was sticking out too far. It'll get tweaked a little bit more, but I figure opening this up, it's going to look a lot better. So what I did is, I don't know if you remember from the last stream, her butt was like really closed up. So I went in with the Dremel tool. I have a couple different attachments. So what I did is I got the basic shape. So if you can see, it's a little bit, I'm going to take the booty down a little bit more, but I have to create the arch in there. And then I did the same thing with this. It's just a pain in the ass to get the eaves in there. So what I'll do is I'll get this situated, I'll let this cure, I'll sand it down a bit, and then what I'll do is I'll kind of work out the booty a little bit. It was easier to take down a bigger section to get in there a little bit more. Plus, I kind of opened up the gap here more too, because it was too closed. So it looks a little bit better. Hey, what's up, Raz? Well, it sounds like you had a good 4th of July then. Hey, Raccoon. Well, like I said, if you're not having near-death experiences on July 4th, then it's not a good July 4th. Alright, so what I'll do is let this cure, sand it down, and then I'll kind of work out the booty a little bit better here and here. So if I try to do it now, I'll screw it all up. But it'll, and I'll sand this down a little bit too. So it'll come together a little bit better. So we're going to kind of do something similar with this one. Wow, that sounds rough. You know, it's kind of funny. When we were kids in New Jersey, fireworks were illegal. So we used to try to travel to like Pennsylvania or down south and grab fireworks and bring them back north. Like if somebody was able to get like pineapples and cherry bombs and stuff was like rare. But now it's weird going to like the Walmart and seeing fireworks on sale. We never really lit them off. We just blew stuff up. We would just, you know, put it in like containers and try to blow things up. That's all we really did. They're not illegal where you are they? Oh, okay. Well, then you get to get the good stuff then. I really don't care about fireworks anymore, really. But my neighbor down the street from me has been lighting them off all night, all morning. He'll probably do another batch tonight. That dude loves fireworks. He does it all year long too. He's always lighting them off. I think he's a pyro. I think every holiday he just does fireworks. At least I think it's the guy. I don't think it's the mother, but it could be. I don't know. I'll talk to him. Early in the 80s and then kind of in the 90s we had to go to like south of the border, like South Carolina, to get fireworks. They were like illegal everywhere. So for Cammy doesn't have a big chest, but these sag down way too far. So we'll build the chest next week. But what I figured I'd do is sort of bring up the rib cage a bit. And then we can sculpt a better rack for her. They came all the way down to here, but we'll bring them up like there a little bit more. I mean, I could do a little bit of a bigger chest, but not, you know, not extreme. But they sagged, they went all the way down, and they went down to there. So I want to bring them up a little bit more, so I just chopped them off. I figure, what the hell. It's easier to sort of build this section first, and then next week build up there. Yeah, so that'll be much easier to work on. Alright, so and then once that's cured, I'll kind of clean up the areas in there a bit more. So now it doesn't look so weird. And then with Misty, same thing, cleaning up this section, because it was when I looked at this one, it actually looked like there was a glob of sculpt here that wasn't finished. It was actually kind of weird. I didn't notice it before. This area on her booty looked right, but over here was like a glob of resin. Not resin, but like sculpt. Like they didn't go in there and clean that up. And then I realized she didn't really have a cleavage. So I figure what I'll do is I'll kind of build a little bit of a cleavage on her, because once again it just went straight down and she had just one line going forward. So I figured we'll build a cleavage on her, at least something a little bit better. And then I realized this area up here and here, it was kind of hard to tell, was up really high. So I kind of took it down so the collarbone sticks up a little more now. So I think that'll work better for her. Hey, this is all I really wanted to do today. Like I said, I was in the garage. I was working on a bunch of personal stuff. I worked on commissions. I was priming. I think I got in the garage around 9:30, and then like about an hour ago, I was just so hot and tired. I was like, let me just come in and tweak this stuff up and call it a day, you know? Just so I figure I can get this stuff kind of going. So I figure, let's see, by next week we could build out the chests. I could kind of drum out the legs, work on that a bit, start planning out this some more. You know, just kind of tweaking stuff as we go. goes with the fireworks again. I don't care if the dude does fireworks, as long as he doesn't set the forest of my house on fire, I could care less. He wants to take off a hand or finger, more power to him. Just don't set my house on fire. That's all I care about. Well, wasn't it like California banned fireworks like 2 years ago or a year ago, and everybody said F you and they did all the fireworks anyway? I remember something happened in it's always California, so. What cracks me up too about the whole emission things with cow farts and everything, it's always the Karens in America that go after this stuff, but when you look at the other countries producing stuff, they produce way more chemicals and emissions than anybody, but they don't care about those countries. So isn't it like India is the most polluted like emissions like in the world right now? I think it was India. I think they said now has the most pollution and emissions problem. No, I don't think it's China anymore. I think China cleaned up a lot of their stuff from what I understand. I know China stopped taking recycling because there was too much plastic going to them and they couldn't recycle it enough. So they're not taking recycling anymore. But I think it's India right now is the most like polluted from what I remember seeing a video and like the whole entire like district or like it was like the whole like city or something was like remember smog back in like the 80s with like LA and stuff? It was like that, I think. At least that's what I saw. We're all doomed anyway, so it doesn't matter. We're all doomed. Yeah, that could be it. Hey, what's up, Raphael? Oh, for yeah, Raccoon, you weren't here, and I think Raz wasn't here. So we talked a little bit more about the schoolgirl yesterday. So this is kind of maybe change things up a bit. So basically, we're talking about the schoolgirl outfit. The Britney Spears, I didn't realize was so loose, so I don't think it would look right. She'll look all baggy. So kind of we're thinking maybe go a little bit more tighter look to it, and then maybe like a see-through white top. We basically, I'll show you the drawing. Anyone else who wasn't here yesterday. So basically for Cammy, schoolgirl. Yeah, so trying to, you know, brainstorm a little bit more. So like, you know, green skirt, white top, red hat, bandana, you know, I mean a hair, red hat, red socks, red underwear. I think we'll do the pleated skirt like here, over here. But I got to figure out how to do that. Yeah, I was looking at, I was watching the Britney Spears video, and I was looking at all her outfits, and even though it's got that sexy 90s look, it's very baggy. I didn't realize it was so baggy, so I think maybe we'll go a little bit more tighter look to it. You know, yeah, I think Velma has sort of like a pleated skirt, but the problem is I don't know how to do the pleated too well. So if you go back and watch the video, I'll make a basic skirt, and then I'll just layer strips on it to kind of create the pleats. I think that's the best way I can do it. But yeah, Velma sort of has that pleated skirt look to her. So... And then I like the high look on it too. I like how it comes above the belly button. Kind of like that a little bit more. Yeah, Velma skirt's got the pleats on it. Not plaid, pleat. That's what they're called, right? Hopefully I got them correct. The only problem is it's kind of hard to create a pleated skirt that flows. So I'll make it work somehow. I could find more pictures too for next stream to kind of go over a little bit more stuff, but I think like the see-through white shirt might look kind of fun, you know. But we'll keep the socks so we can do see the legs, you know, with her camo stuff on her legs. Probably just gonna have to get Raz to make bigger hair, because I think I need bigger hair than this. I think these are too small, so he's probably got to make it like maybe that big. Yeah, we're gonna keep the schoolgirl look. We're just kind of shift a bit. I think the Britney Spears look too is we would have to have pigtails, but I don't really know. Like, it's not gonna work. So, hey, what's up, Joe? So that's kind of the plan as of now. But things might shift and change a little bit, but we're getting there. But since this is Misty, going to, you know, we talked a little bit more about everything in the outfit. So I think adding this cleavage works out a little bit better for her. It's a lot better than what it was. Yeah, Raz printed them out, and I thought they were a good scale, but they need to be a little bit longer, so probably double the size, so it comes down to about her booty area. So we'll get those reprinted, because I'm gonna have Raz print out a hat too. I gotta find a cami hat, and I gotta have him print out a hat too. So it's all right. This is what happens when we kind of mix and match and plan things out as we go. So that's got to get sanded down a little bit. Cleavage looks a lot better now. Alright, so got a good start on these booties and stuff, so we're gonna look a lot better with that. This needs to be a little bit more here. So tweak up a little bit more in here, so this way at least when we have cami skirt on here, we can at least see something underneath a little bit better. Of course I got something in my eye. For this is Misty, so that looks a lot better. Cleavage is a lot better on her. So that'll work for her. And for Peach, this is a lot better. So for anyone who didn't see last stream, her booty and leg is really closed in a lot, and it really just didn't look right to me. So now, once I fix up the curve a little bit more, it'll be a nice booty, so this way when it works with her outfit, it'll stand out a little bit more. And then also this part here, because this stuck out too far, so it's got that curve going in now. So, and I think what I need to do too for Peach is work out her cleavage a little bit more, because this way if we do this circle, so she's gonna have a little bit of a bigger chest. I'm not gonna bring it out this way, I'm gonna bring it up this way. So we're gonna have a little bit of a bigger chest up this way, so that we don't need to go wider, we just need to go higher. So this way I can work out that. I think that'll work better for Peach. She already got a huge booty. Like I said, I didn't realize these kits, they did big booties on them. Really big. It's kind of weird, you don't really see it too much in the pictures until it's actually printed in your face. So, but that's okay though. That's alright. What I also want to do is, I want to at least get Misty on the base. So the best way to do this, maybe put something underneath your feet. I printed them up in 1/4 scale, so they're about like close to like sideshow scale, so they're almost like 17 to 18 inches tall. My sweet spot for scale is 1/4. That's the scale I like working on. So 1/6 is too small. 1/4 I think is perfect. 1/3 is just too big. I mean, unless you want that one character in a huge scale, it's okay. But alright. So we're gonna glue some pieces for the bottom here. I didn't put a magnet. I didn't put a magnet there. So I want her feet at least on the base. So I'll probably just for a good starting point, glue piece there. I don't have any thicker pieces. Just kind of good start. No, the wax stuff probably tastes way better. Come on, that old wax taste from the 80s and 90s, it lasts about, what, 4 seconds? That was the good stuff back then. Lasts about 4 seconds, right? Like 3 or 4 bites and then it was gone. Just thinking about it, I can taste it. You know, it's like that old candy stuff. You just think about it and you know you can kind of like taste it in your mind. That stuff probably was like really, really bad made, you know. But of course we still ate it anyway. God only knows what was in that stuff. Okay, so got that key in there. Yeah. You know, it even goes back to like Halloween candy, all that candy corn. God only knows what was in that stuff. I love that one comedian said it was all the candy corn was made in like what 1940 or 50, and we're still using it to this day. I was watching a thing on Instagram of all the stuff we had growing up that's no longer around. And you know what I really have a craving? I don't know if you guys remember. It was the Keebler potato skins. It was like potato chips, but it looked like a little potato skin. It was from Keebler. I think it was Keebler. And I saw it on the video, and right away I could taste those in my mind, and I really want them. But I completely forgot those are long gone. I would love to have that Keebler potato skin chips again. That stuff was so good back that day. I didn't realize how much stuff is gone. The cigarette candy is still around. There's a candy shop a couple towns away from me. You know, they sell like, you know, chocolates, but they have a little section of the older candy. And they sell the candy cigarettes, they sell the whistle pops, and they also have, well, they did have it, but I don't think they have it anymore. It was this old gum. It was like silver packing with purple lettering. I forgot that gum. I think it was like a licorice type gum. My father used to chew it all the time. Yeah, those potato chips were like fairly thick, and they were like this big, and they just looked like skins of a potato. But they were so good. Blackjack? Maybe it was blackjack. I don't know. There was some really old gum, you know, sticks, and one was a fruity one, but one was like a licorice. I was gonna pick it up. I was like, next time I come to the store, I get it, but then they didn't have it anymore. But the whistle pops, they have those all over Amazon. They still sell those. You know, a little whistle thing where you can blow in it and you can pull the little piece out. My favorite candy was the dipsticks, where you'd have the two white sticks and the sugar. But I only liked the sticks. I didn't like the sugar. I was weird like that. Blackjack? Yeah, I don't know if it was blackjack. Let me look. If I see it, you probably would know. Hey, what's up, the mug? It's not only about peeling paint, it's about getting high. Oh, this is it. This is it. Hold on. This is it. Raccoon, you probably remember this gum. No, can't post a link. It's called Choward's scented gum. Coward scented gum. Let me see. It's maybe it's not licorice. Maybe it's just regular. Yeah, it's Coward's scented gum. It's purple. I know a lot of smokers used to chew it, so. And then the other stuff, yeah, there's blackjack, Beeman's, and clove. I remember blackjack and I remember Beeman's and clove. Oh damn, we're going far back now. Far, far back. It was pretty popular back in the day with smokers, I guess. Not that it really helped you quit smoking, it was just gum. It's not. What the hell? Oh, you never heard of it? Yeah, it was pretty common back in the day. Hey, what's up, Vigilante? How's it going? Got some glue stuck on here. Got some leaves here. Surgeries? What's going on? Anything bad or just what's the deal? Works. It's feet are kind of organized on that. Oh well, congrats, Vigilante. Hope it all goes well for you. I didn't know you had something going on, or did you tell us a while? I can't remember. So do you have to do like, what is it, like after cancer, if things are well, do they give you like those pills for 5 years? Or do you have to just do other stuff? So my mother had breast cancer, my godmother had breast cancer, but it was small. But after they had it removed, they had to do those pills for 5 years? I don't know. You think they would cure this shit by now, you know? Oh, okay, man. Well, best of luck with it. I hope it goes well. You know, keep the spirits high. Hey, JC. Yeah, we'll be around. We got all the new projects going, so. Side duct goes to fit about there. Skull goes right about there. Yeah, I'm not gonna be on much longer. I just whatchamacallit, I was in the garage all morning and I sweat my ass off. I figured let me work on some of these elements. Not a long stream. I'm in the mood for a milkshake tonight. It's like one of those days where I want to get a milkshake before, you know, I think it's usually around like 8 o'clock is when that one ice cream place gets packed. I don't know, it's like a milkshake night, because it's not too cold today, but it's not warm, it's kind of in between. What I need to do real quick, I need a temporary base for Peach. I'm a mint chocolate chip guy. I love my mint chocolate chip, so that's kind of what I'm going for. And that's what I want today. I gotta redraw this. I gotta measure this. I'll have it measured by next stream. Let me go into. Oh, that's why this is doing that. I forgot. Alright, let me go cut a rod real quick. Be right back. Need a rod to cut first. Okay. I don't know, man. It's one of those days that just screams ice cream. Just gotta get some ice cream today. It's not blazing hot where like ice cream would be like, oh god, it's just one of those days where you can't have anything thick. But it's like a perfect night tonight, so I'll probably do a bike ride and then I'll go get some a milkshake. Gotta get a milkshake. Just gotta. Like I'm gonna have to Dremel through it. What are those pup cups? Is it just like whipped cream or is it actual ice cream? I see videos where people do that for their dogs all the time. Ah, okay. I thought it was just whipped cream for some reason. It's a hell of a way, it's a genius way to get some extra sales, you know? We have a Rouse Italian ice place, and I love Italian ice more than ice cream. But the only problem is it went through like 5 owners in the past 3 years. And now for a quart of Italian ice from Ralph's is like almost 12 bucks. And I remember when I first moved down here, a quart was like $5. So it's skyrocketed. Plus, I have a problem with Italian ice. I don't stop eating it until it's gone. And I don't feel like going into a sugar rush tonight. So I'm not going to do it. But if you give me cherry or watermelon or even pina colada Italian ice, I'll eat it till it's gone. And getting older, I can't handle that sugar anymore. So I love, and also they have a banana cream ice there too. Oh, banana Italian ice is just out of this world. Can't go there anymore because I'll just blow just tons of cash on Italian ice and I'll eat it all in one day. But if you guys have any Ralph's Italian ice near you or one that's kind of far, it's worth going to. We have a lot of those Rita's Italian ice or Rita ice places here, and I can't stand that. It's like watered down ice. But Ralph's Italian ice is just pure sugar. Just puts you into a sugar coma like you wouldn't believe. It's worth it though. So look for a Ralph's Italian ice wherever you go. Yeah, we got Baskin-Robbins here. Baskin-Robbins mint chocolate chip shakes I love those. I think Baskin-Robbins mint chocolate chip is great. So they're not bad. Cold Stone I'm not a fan of. We have tons of those Rita places. I can't stand that stuff. It's just basically like chopped ice and they just put some like crap on it. But Ralph's Italian ice though is mind-blowing. I'm trying to think. I don't think there's really any other common, like we also have a lot of like mom and pop stuff here, but the two mom and pop places that I've been to, I won't get their stuff anymore. Have you ever had like ice cream where it's like super creamy, like it's not really milk, like ice cream with like milk ice cream, it's like whipped cream, and it's very like, and I don't like that type of ice cream where it's very creamy. It's they always have a line out the door. People love it, but I don't like that. But I do like Baskin-Robbins. I would go to the Baskin-Robbins tonight, but it's about 20 minutes away, so I'm not driving out there for today. But I think I'll go to the other place down the road that's got semi-good ice cream. I've had Cold Stone, I think maybe 3 times, but every time I've had it, I was kind of like, eh. I'm not really all that into it. Alright, so I put a little bit of Aves. And then I put a little bit of glue, but not a lot of glue because I don't want it to squeeze up. But to make this work, just so it doesn't, I'm going to put just a little bit of this Insta-Set on the rod. Just enough of a residue there to help it. What I do is put this down. And let it sit for now. So this to be my temporary base for Peach for now. This way we can have her set up for a while. And then I got to make a temporary base for Cammy as well. Okay, so this should... Alright, so next time I have some extra A's, I'll just kind of fill up the hole a little bit better. But this should be good enough for now. Yep. So that should be good for there. Alright, so we got those two set. Alright, so for next week, what I'll do is I'll try to get her on a base. I'll probably just put her on a block of wood. We're going to rebuild her chest, and I could kind of finish cleaning up the booty areas. Well, I'm probably going to work on her chest a little bit more next week too. I'm going to reposition these lines and start working on the squeezed area. And then we'll start working on her squeezed booty area. And then while that's going on, I got to start working out the magnets and keys and kind of go with that stuff. That's about it for now. So one day during the week, I'll have to get in the garage and sort of chop them up a little bit more and sand and plan some stuff. I'll grab some more pictures hopefully tomorrow for the stream, so some ideas on stuff. You know, we got to start working out the key with the head and all that's everything. Pictures of shoes, and that's pretty much it. Alright, I'm done for today. Figure we just kind of get this out of the way. So I'll see you guys next week. Have a good rest of your weekend. And I am going to get ready to get a milkshake soon. And Vigilante, take care of yourself, alright? Don't overdo it. Alright, have a good weekend, guys.